Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. Today we're going to review Phantom Covert Ops VR, a game released on June 25th, 2020 by developer N-Dreams. It is a Meta exclusive supporting both the Meta Quest and the Oculus Rift. It normally retails for $30. I did buy this game and I tested it out on the Meta Quest 3 using link cable. So yeah, PC VR all the way. Phantom Covert Ops is a stealth action shooter in a kayak, and you never leave that kayak. You're kayaking all the way. And that makes it a very unique stealth action game because it's really also a kayak arcade sim game. And the kayaking is actually pretty fun in this game. It's not quite on the level of Kayak VR Mirage, but it's pretty close. It's more on the arcade side for sure. And the game doesn't take itself seriously. It's not a difficult challenge either. This is a game that's very approachable for those new to the stealth genre. I had fun. I do recommend the game, but my biggest criticism of the game is just that it wasn't long enough. It wasn't fleshed out enough. I'd like to see a little bit more depth to the gameplay and a little bit more to the story. The story was over the top, but I think they should have leaned more into it. If they would have gone all out ham, just make some crazy scenarios in VR, this would have been Game of the Year material. Anyways, let's review Phantom Covert Ops. First of all, it is running on the Unreal Engine 4.2. I did not experience any serious issues or bugs. On my RTX 3080, I was getting mostly 90 frames per second. It took me approximately 4 hours to complete the game on normal difficulty, and if you find the game not to be challenging enough early on, I would definitely recommend upping the difficulty, especially if you want to go full stealth. And the one thing I really liked about this game is that you can go stealth or you can go loud as well. At least on normal difficulty, you'll have plenty of ammo to take out enemies or explosives, which are even more fun. Unfortunately, that also means that there's not a whole lot of depth to the gameplay. You can hide in dark areas or in the reeds or under the docks, and there's like tunnels everywhere where you can kayak to. And the game is generally very forgiving. You'll be able to kayak right next to patrols and they'll just totally not see you, even though you're kayaking a few feet away from them. Generally though, you'll want to avoid any spotlighted area or any area where they're flashing their lights towards. And the sad part is that you don't need to worry about how much noise that you're making unless you use your non-silence weapon or explode something. The guards may get tipped off, not always though. And that's a shame because the game has a very good audio mix. The spatial audio is excellent, and you can track the patrol guards just by hearing their footsteps, which is awesome. I just wish it was a bigger part of the gameplay. It really doesn't affect gameplay at all. And you have some pretty cool toys to play with. Unfortunately, their implementation is pretty one note. For example, you have these night vision goggles which sound awesome, but pretty much you'll use it to scan the area once and it'll mark all the stuff in your nearby vicinity along with the patrols, but then you won't use it again until you get to the next area. You also have a mini blowtorch, but it ends up just being a tool to take off locks. And beware, the sparks from the mini blowtorch can be pretty intensive on the eyes. It would have been good to have more tools available that are a little bit more dynamic. And you basically have a couple of different weapons as well. You have the silenced pistol, which is holstered to your chest, and this would have been my favorite weapon, except it just doesn't do enough damage. You also have an assault rifle, and obviously this one is not silenced and you'll need to two-hand it as well, but it will take out most of the enemies without any problems. However, you need to be careful or you'll alert the other guards nearby. And you also have a silenced sniper rifle, which does plenty of damage. However, I found that I still needed to do more than one headshot because a lot of the enemies are heavily armored and they'll have a helmet on. And you also have explosives and a grenade launcher. I loved using the grenade launcher, but during the campaign it's only available for the last mission, although you can replay any level in. You'll probably want to use the grenade launcher then. Just to be clear, the game does have the campaign mode, the free play mode, that's where you can select any level and choose your loadout, and it also has a challenge mode where you can go for some different goals in the game. For example, a shooting range where you have to hit targets real fast and try to climb the leaderboard. The visuals in this game are definitely not the best in PC VR. I think it's pretty obvious the developers focus first on the Meta Quest and then increase the visuals for PC VR. But in my opinion, the game still looks pretty good for PC VR. Let's be for real, most PC VR games nowadays just don't look very good. If I do have one criticism of the game is that it's too dark on the Meta Quest 3. It's pretty clear the PC VR version was made for the Oculus Rift, and I think the side effect of that is just the lighting's just not correct on the Meta Quest 3 using PC VR. And this game was just too dark at times where I just couldn't see where I was going while kayaking. Luckily there are markers so I could see which direction I needed to be going, and these moments were few and far between. The story was definitely over the top and it didn't have much depth to it, but on the other hand the voice acting was pretty good, and this game had high production values all around. I enjoyed the musical score, although I did think it was maybe a little bit too loud at times, especially when you're going in stealth mode. And this is definitely not a AAA experience by any means. It's definitely AA. But unlike a lot of VR games out there, this does feel like a full experience. It's got a story, it's got production values, it's got stealth, it's got over-the-top actions. Again, my biggest complaint here is that there's just not enough. The game ended about an hour or two too early. The story could have been fleshed out just a little bit more, and the game just needed a little bit more depth to the stealth. I definitely think that a bow and arrow implementation into the gameplay would have brought a little bit more nuance to the gameplay. The environmental dangers could have been a little bit better thought out as well. They're basically just shoot this environmental danger and watch the guard be distracted as you kayak away, or explode a barrel and watch them die in flames. All in all though, I did have a blast playing this game. This is just one of those games where the whole is larger than the sum of its parts. There's just something about going on a stealth kayak into enemy territory and blowing up some nuclear sub or whatever was going on. But you're basically this one-man army on a kayak and you see the wave of destruction that you leave behind. It's over the top, but it's fun. It doesn't take itself seriously, and I highly recommend it. If I have to rate it, I would give it an excellent 8 out of 10. That's a very high score for me. I would definitely say this is one of the top 25 games in VR, a must play. Anyways, I'm Fast Lawyer. This has been my review for Phantom Covert Ops. If you enjoyed this review, if you found it useful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a wonderful day and enjoy the rest of the video.
Cut loose that cable with your blowtorch.